trying to find a cable in a mess of cables that had fallen behind my desk. So good. Um, yeah, just trying to finish the spring strong. Just have one more big event to run on Saturday here, and then I've got a professional conference the next weekend, and then May is like our busiest month for bookings, and then I'll be more home free after that. Oh, what? No, then I run a big thing for like a solid week in June. I guess I'll chill out in July. Yeah, the grind never stops. I'm always hustling. Oh, I did see that. It looks excellent. Yes, yes. I would say that stuff has definitely happened. I mean, nothing's happens, but there's they are well, okay, so I think the first thing that happened was there was a terrorist attack in Kashmir of Islamic Pakistani militants who are not necessarily maybe government sponsored, but Pakistan's basically a failed state, so um, you know, it's on the cusp, and yeah, they killed like 20 something plus Indians, principally Hindus on a like religious pilgrimage in Kashmir, so not a good look. And yeah, I don't know if you've seen like the developments out of that. India took several actions in response to this. One of them was um, the all Pakistanis' visas are revoked and they have 48 hours to remove themselves from the country as of like yesterday. So they're like 24 hours, 36 hours into this right now. And the other thing they've done is they have suspended the Indus Waters Treaty. So all of the headwaters and all of principal snowfall that goes into the Indus River, which actually runs through Pakistan, which is kind of ironic because we say India, but the Indus River is not actually really in India. But the Indus River runs through Pakistan, is its primary water source, but all of the headwaters actually start in like the mountains controlled by India, and they have it all dammed, and they have a water treaty to like release the water into the Indus, and they have suspended that and have basically withheld all water to India for the last 24 hours. And if this were to continue, they wouldn't be able to plant like spring crops, which is obviously what is happening right now. And not only would there be water shortages, which would be like immediately noticeable, but also there would be like long-term famine and everything like that. And Pakistan has said that this is grounds for war. Basically, it's a declaration of war. And then India has also suspended its border crossing, and they have deployed their one and only beautiful aircraft carrier to the coast of Pakistan. I mean, it just had to sail over a little bit, but so yeah, that's what's happening on the subcontinent right now. So, okay, here's the skinny. They each have probably like 120, 150 warheads, between them, and they have second strike capability. So even if the somebody did first strike, technically the other one would be able to retaliate still. So it'd be total annihilation, mutually assured destruction. Um, and yeah, so what does that mean? Well, billions would die, and then all the soot and ash superheated from the burning cities and um, people of the subcontinent would go into the stratosphere and create ash, kind of like there was a super volcano erupting, and it would you can't smell it. It's like 30 miles up. We don't have to worry about it that much. And it would cool the atmosphere about 1 or 2 degrees in the northern hemisphere, basically, and that's Celsius. So basically, reversing all global warming since the Industrial Revolution. Um, well, so there was a British company saying that they had preliminary approval to do this exact thing, but artificially, via like super high altitude planes, kind of like Cloudpiercer, eh, or Snowpiercer. Sorry, Snowpiercer. Mm. It's just nature's way, right? Um, God realizing that Oppenheimer had to prove that the atomic bomb worked so that he could get rid of India 70 years later. Um, yeah, it it's weird because not only would it end global warming, but it would also end almost all um defecation, open air defecation, and maybe about half of the plastic pollution in rivers into the ocean. Um, are they are they Indian? Most of them, you think? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that checks out. Yeah. And it's so funny to me that like they keep trying constantly. And like it's like a blog and like the very first post on it is like, I don't normally do this, but I am now asking for sincerely your help to make life in Gaza bearable. And you're like, this is your only post. Like you're not some long time like Tumblr person or whatever. So, yeah, so there's the British climate change plan. Maybe they're secretly behind all this, and it's their subtle plan to just like get everything taken care of in one fell swoop. or whatever. Um, maybe Keir Starmer's playing like 18th dimension chest right here, lamenting both sides. Oh no. Okay, I'll fill some time here. What other things did I see recently? Okay, we were talking about our student debt relief plan. Or we were going to talk about the student debt relief plan. Um, there's okay, this is an article that dropped just this afternoon. Trump, quote, Russia's concession to Ukraine is not taking over the entire country. That is a good one. And then what else do we have here? What's good? Um, um, Judges block Trump
Okay, I
judicial
think.
orders.
Yep, we're good.
Peter Schiff says gold's rise is a warning that everyone ignores. Um, Liberal media ditching food deserts term for far more inflammatory sounding food apartheid.
Food apartheid.
Um, that's an interesting way to phrase it.
Mm.
Zeldin demands Mexico act on cross-border sewage. Huh. I thought most
That's
of the
not a
water
nice
flowed. Well, the Colorado side
flow south.
from on the Colorado side, it flows south. But I
Mm.
guess the Rio Grande, it's like you kind of share
Mm.
anybody who dumps stuff upriver.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Texas. Um, Washington State instructor and PhD student arrested after assaulting student wearing a MAGA hat.
Mm. Sounds about right. I
Checks out.
also saw one earlier today. I think my audio is working again. Where this dude like drove alongside like a Tesla and like flashed a piece at it. It was like in a holster, but he like pointed it at the Tesla. And of course, the Tesla camera, one of like 17 on the vehicle, picked it up. And it's like, there really is something to be said for these people who like choose to like deface these vehicles that have. It's like pretty publicly known that there are cameras watching all sides of the vehicle, like at all times. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that is the thing about a Tesla is like they have even the basic models have like a little bit of self-driving, like extra cruise control, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so like yeah, there's like 17 cameras on
Yeah,
them
man. Like it sees
and a
everything.
sentry mode.
Yeah, it's got your plate, it's got your face, it's got your shitty Glock and your shitty holster. Like you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can go right to what will probably be the most excitable topic of the podcast, our student debt relief program that I would say was borrowed from the idea you and I came up with when it comes to dealing with like chronic gooners and OnlyFans thoughts. Seminaries and monasteries, of course, work really well for that. But it is apparent that if we are going to keep this current course economically, we are going to need labor in the future, specifically individuals who are going to, as the Democrats or leftists put it, pick the fruits and vegetables for $5 an hour, which really suggests its own argument as to like how these people are being exploited for their labor, and the fact that like these immigrants are allowed to come in illegally and work in these fields helps keep the cost of labor down. And for people who usually advocate for at least $15 an hour for minimum wage, that's a little weird that you're not more against that, but like that's okay. That's something you'll be able to mentally think about when you're working in the fields, which is the solution that I am pitching. That in order to pay off your tens of thousands, if not in some cases over $100,000 in student loans, you can pick the fruits and vegetables and you can earn a base salary while doing so. And for every year that you work in the fields, or we are, of course, going to have our own. I mean, I don't actually think this will happen, but just on the off chance we do have a manufacturing renaissance in the United States and we find ourselves with all of this need for labor for people to assemble refrigerators and whatever the fuck else. You can also work in these factories for the same kind of base salary. And again, for every year you do this, you get $10,000 off your student loans. That's my pitch. That's
Yeah.
my program.
Okay. Okay. Um, I do you see any downsides to this?
No,
I
I
mean,
don't, because for people who, on the whole, have a very fond idea, or at least image, of the hammer and sickle and what that represents, you will learn what the hammer and sickle represents by the end of this program, and you will be better people for it. You will understand the value of a dollar. You will develop skills. You will learn how to either till the earth or produce goods that your fellow man can enjoy. And you also get the satisfying knowledge of knowing that if you're not doing it, well, if you are doing it, excuse me, that means some impoverished third world individual doesn't have to do it for you for a fraction of the salary and double the time. That should make you feel good in the inside. There's no downside here. Like, this works for everybody. Everybody wins.
okay. What if you have long COVID?
Then we shoot you. That's the solution. I'm sorry. The other part of this is we will need fertilizer for the fields and lubrication for the machines. And humans are very biodegradable, and we make excellent fertilizer. And if you're not going to work in the field because, I have long COVID and I thought I was going to be a neo-queer video game streamer for the cause, pick the fucking produce! Pick it!
Um,
Assemble the Funko Pop! Sorry.
there. So there is an argument of what about an America, or what would an America of not only like no immigrants look like, but like in 100 years, or something like that, or by 2030, an America of 100 million,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And I was doing some maths the other day, and I was just curious if everywhere had the same population density
Mm.
as Wyoming.
Mm.
So, Wyoming, the least densely populated state in the lower 48, at least the least populated state. I
Mm.
think Alaska has more area but more population. So, but they have way more area than they have population, so it's like the least populated. But
Mm.
uh, most Wyoming gets less visitors, so people are probably familiar with driving through to see Yellowstone or something like that. So pop density here was 6 people per square mile.
Mm.
All right,
I like that.
conceptualize that: 6 people per square mile. Now, um, let's look at the land area of the United States. All right, that is 3.81 million miles. All right, so you can see where we're going here.
Mm.
381,000
Mm.
times 6
Mm.
is 22,860,000 people.
Mm.
Now, you can throw in a couple extra million for some cities,
Mm.
like, Los Angeles and Seattle and New York and Miami can still have 1 million people in them.
Mm.
Round it up, 50 million or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah, in the age of like AI and machinery and abundant energy from nuclear or natural gas or coal or whatever you want, or
Mm.
windmills or anything you want to imagine, um, uh, do we really need 350 million people
Not
to
really.
make all the nice things that you might like? Ancient Athens. What was the population of ancient Athens?
Let's see. I'm going to Google this with you. This is fun.
Um, so back when Socrates and all his folks were around.
250 to 300,000 people in the 5th and 4th centuries, approximately.
So okay, and out of classical Athens, we got philosophers we still talk about today,
Mm-hmm.
scientists we still talk about today,
Mm-hmm.
military leaders,
Mm-hmm.
political leaders,
Mm-hmm.
um, forms of government,
Mm-hmm.
religious ideas, theology that's
Mm-hmm.
been adapted or transmogrified, everything like that. Um, does a city really need to be bigger than ancient Athens? Especially if they all have like a first world standard of living and everything like
Mm,
that. Like,
yeah.
remember you're thinking of like the citizens were only like a quarter of the population. So like, and those were basically the only people who had anything to do
Mm,
back then. So, yeah, does a city really need to be much bigger than 200, 300,000?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Glad we're on the same page on this.
Yeah.
So that is where maybe the future can go here.
Mm.
We can have a depopulation phase where we get into a quality over quantity thing. We don't need like just like a million people to like do little gadget,
I was
label
gonna
assembly.
say, when it comes to depopulation, I feel like we're going to have that anyway because, like, birth rates everywhere, really. Like, even in most places like third world where you expect them to be having kids hand over fist, it's really not actually keeping up with what it used to be. But in, like, the first world, especially, like the United States and Europe, it's fallen a lot. Like, part of the reason they are also trying to bring in so many immigrants is because they are seriously worried about population decline. I remember, man, probably 7, 8 years ago, like James Corbett was like ringing the warning bell about this, and like he was one of few people who were actually bothering to talk about depopulation. Because I remember at that point, like all we would hear is like, the United States population is 350 million. We're about to top 8 billion. It's just like, man, we just keep having people, but like things are kind of trending away from that. Like we're still reproducing, we're not dying off as a species, but like we may be headed for a population decline. Like I think we already are kind of in that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, the native born populations of
Mm,
Europe and Asia and North America
mm,
are all below replacement levels, right? And they
mm,
would taper off slowly, which would mean, like what would the corollary of like falling population be? Like gently declining,
mm.
not like South Korea levels, which
Yeah, that's
might
something else.
genuinely be apocalyptic. But like let's say there's you know 3.5 grandkids for every 4 grandparents, right? So what does that mean? Well, okay, there's less demand for housing. There's more the labor is in short supply, so wages rise. Um, what else would it mean? Oh, the environment. There's more open space
Mm.
and availability for public lands, or
Traffic would
you
get
can.
so much better. Traffic would be
Yes,
amazing.
traffic would be amazing. So it's just like I don't see the downsides. I don't think we
No,
need like 30 million people assemble, and that's the thing. Like China and probably India is like realizing right now, probably why they want to go to war is they're like, we don't really want to have like 5 million, or not even 5 million would be a really low number, 50 million or 100 million like sexless men who are going to turn into terrorists, basically.
essentially, yeah.
um
Either you guys die
and
in nuclear hellfire or each of you becomes a bomb. We'd rather you just get taken out by the hellfire. Like, we'll deal with that. Because that's a lot of explosions.
so speaking on the fertility issue, Trump says baby bonus for moms sounds like a good idea. President Donald Trump signaled a willingness to issue financial bonuses to mothers when they give birth. Uh, Sounds like a good idea to me. We failed a generation by not only permitting a culture of abortion on demand, but also neglecting to help young parents achieve ingredients that they need to lead a happy and meaningful life. This is JD Vance, actually.
Oh.
Um, there's a lot of things I worry about. The birth rate is very low in almost every country. Unless that changes, civilization will disappear. America had the lowest birth rate ever. That's last year. Humanity is dying, said Elon Musk. Again, I'm not too worried about like if a city had the population of ancient Athens,
Hmm,
I probably wouldn't mean that there's no civilization anymore. Like it'd
exactly.
be
Just be more
pretty much fine.
manageable.
Yeah, I mean, like you can look at Detroit. Have you seen the time lapse of like street photo from Detroit, like
Yeah, man.
2008, 2014, 2021, and it's just like turning back into wilderness and
Yeah.
everything like
The
that.
jungle
Like the
is
housetops
reclaiming
go
it.
down.
So
Um,
I was about to conduct a fun experiment. I wanted to see like what the average megaton exchange would be between like India and Pakistan combined. And then I was going to see like if you took let's say 50 million young men like you said and you gave each of them an explosive vest and turned them into a terrorist, what the collective tonnage would be in terms of explosive each one of those vests went off. And right before I actually typed that into Google, I was like I should probably not Google average weight of an explosive vest. I was like, let's actually not do
say
that.
like 10 kilograms,
Yeah,
you
okay,
know,
10
like
kilograms. Let's do that. Let's.
5 kilograms.
I like 10.
Um, uh, okay. So there were some responses on Twitter about this that I did enjoy. Is all I've ever wanted is for America to be filled with babies born of parents who think $5,000 is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Um,
okay, so 500 million kilograms.
oh, yeah. I mean, you could have just said pounds, right? That means all about the same.
Whatever. Now, to make.
Oh, here was a good tweet I saw today. Liberals will be like, the city is so vibrant, and then ask a McDonald's cashier for a password to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. So, I think, unless I might be retarded, I am a little retarded. I believe it would actually come out to about half a megaton. So not a whole lot in terms of yieldage, but like I wouldn't want that going off over time, slowly in
So
their
like
Pensy pod.
a couple Moabs or whatever.
Couple
Well,
of
it's like a
Moabs, yeah.
cluster munition, right? Like I imagine like the World War Z, but they've all got like
Oh, jeez.
explosive vests on.
That's
Oh
like
man.
that's like that final level of Call of Duty Zombies you get to if like, you like unlock all the doors and you get the mad scientist his power supply, right, buddy?
Cape So Canada has had a baby bonus for a long time, including up to $8,000 per year per child.
Hmm,
It's needs based, so it provides no incentive to high income households.
hmm,
There was a post war baby boom, which is totally unrelated, and had no effect from fertility from 1970 to present. Okay, worth
hmm,
noting.
hmm.
Um, what else was there? The people who need financial incentives to have more children are mostly not the people we want to have more.
This is true. Yeah, it's a little backwards at the moment.
Uh, we should produce thousands of woolly mammoths in America and gift them to Greenland to celebrate statehood.
Ooh, yes, I like
Okay.
this. That would
Oh,
provide
okay.
an amazing opportunity for tourism industry.
Speaking of tourism across the U.S., you notice in America we've got all these local like cryptids and folklore and stuff like that. So we got Sasquatch, we got Paul Bunyan, we
Mm.
got Mount
Mothman.
Rushmore and all that stuff,
Mm.
Mothman, Chupacabra,
Mm.
etc. Um, what if America was secretly actually a Shinto nation with regional shrines and deities and ancestors that we worship?
Mm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would, as we're Rocky inhabitants, Mountain West, what would be our deity? Is that
I
Skysquatch?
guess we got Squatch. Would be I think the most preeminent um animal. Maybe a Wendigo, but not quite. That's more like
Maybe
a Great Lakes thing, I thought. But
Great Lakes are
um,
like. I'm also Skinwalker would probably more like Navajo reservation, so a little more south, like
yeah, a little
Arizona,
southwest.
New
Yeah.
Mexico.
The Thunderbird
Mm.
would be one
Hmm.
giant eagle that
Yeah.
can shoot thunder. Yeah, I like that one.
Paul Bunyan,
Um,
where did he operate? Would you say Pacific Northwest
I thought he was like Minnesota or
or
whatever.
Minnesota? Okay.
I'm not sure. I
Okay,
don't
so
know. Yeah.
he'll be Midwest.
Uh, so okay. Good tweet I saw related to court orders. If we were going to get back to
Yes.
something I mentioned a second ago,
Yes.
uh, according to John Roberts, the president can order the assassination of a U.S. citizen via drone strike without court approval. but he cannot deport a citizen of a foreign nation who entered the U.S. illegally.
Hmm. Interesting juxtaposition.
Speaking of AI, boomers will live just long enough to hand over civilization to artificial intelligence rather than to their own children.
Mm-hmm. AI will get the house; their children will not.
AI gets the house. BlackRock run AI inherits all the property. Um, Here was a great tweet. You study libertarian theory because you want to live and let live. I study it because I want to see IRS agents permanently chained in mines. We are not the same.
That is actually no. The IRS agents, we will give temporary leniency. I would say the first year of the activation of the program. Any IRS agent who wants to save themselves and simply either labor in the fields or the factories, you can do so. But after that year, you're going in the mines, and we're going to make
Yeah, it's
children
like
your
the
boss.
early retirement offer that Trump was offered, or that
Exactly.
it's like, okay, you can take the money,
Mm.
or you can get fired and get nothing.
Yeah.
We're raising the stakes on that.
Exactly. You can either work for, I would say every year you spent in the IRS is a year in the fields. I think that's fair. That's turnabout is fair play. But that's if you take that deal. If you don't take that deal, you go in the mines. And well, we're still determining the release situations for those in the mines, but if you're in the mines, you're in the mines. That's basically where we're at. Like the other thing too is the mines are going to be run by Minecraft streamers. We figure that's the most efficient way for this to work. Most of them will probably be a little bit on the younger side, but if we'll keep them fed and well paid, and they'll get to tell you what to do, which is honestly probably more than they could ever want. So, good luck with that. Also, imagine what they'll build. Imagine, like, it'll be so efficient.
Can you think of the cathedrals that we'll get in
Yeah,
America?
yeah,
Finally the great architecture when we put Minecraft kids in charge of forced labor camps.
exactly. Like, this is probably the most progressive episode we have ever done.
Here was an amazing article that was read. New York State Medicaid funded program for paying people to stay home with aging relatives. In 2014, only 20,000 people were paid by the program. Eligibility rules changed in 2015 under the outgoing Obama administration, and that number jumped to 250,000. Today, that figure is 620,000 people. This taxpayer-funded program now makes up 12% of New York City's private sector jobs, according to Bloomberg.
Wow. Here, I used to make jokes about how New York State's economy was going to basically be supported by casinos and elder medical care, and they really played into the elder medical care thing. They're like, yeah, if you just want to sit at home with your family member and be their caretaker, we'll pay you to do it. Like, wow. I mean, on the one hand, I don't necessarily hate that, but on the other, it's like, really okay.
Yeah, any other ideas, topics to discuss here? Let's check the chat. We just got Missile Launch saying,
we got Missile, we got JC a little bit. That's not Matt, it's me. Matt is raising his child army. Oh, we I guess we didn't talk about the passing of the Pope and how we're preparing for a Jeb Bush papacy.
Actually, that's a funny question.
Yes.
Since Jeb Bush married a Latina, is he Catholic now?
Hang on. Is Jeb Bush Catholic? Wow, that search option came up real quick. He is Catholic. He is Catholic.
This is viable then, because
this is very viable.
I think the only requirement is that you're like Catholic male, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Doom Guy could become Pope.
I would support a Doom Guy. So here's the thing though. Doom Guy might be Catholic, but he was created by Mormons. He might have to go through RCIA for that.
Okay.
Which I think they'd probably expedite it in his case, but
I mean, he deserves sainthood for saving the earth so many times over and over again. everybody likes to speculate on next Pope moments, but
Pope Watch
they all
25.
look like Pope Watch 25. Of the candidates I've seen, there's not many based options available.
Mm.
Seems like it's
There is
kind
one
of the
that's like
same old.
he's kind of a traditionalist. Like I don't know his name, but apparently he's like an African cardinal, and he's like
Oh,
possibly a strong contender, which would be hilarious if like all of like the woke idiots. Oh man, hang on. Let's rephrase that in a way that doesn't make me sound like a boomer. If all of the leftoids who
Patriot 1776 here. All these
Patriots,
woke.
all these woke idiots, God, they're probably going to be like, oh my God, yes, a black pope, lol. And he's going to be like, gay people are an abomination and must be crucified. And they'll be like, whoa, hang on.
Back that up. Back that up. It's just like
Women
every
do
day
not
going to
belong
the
in the workforce and should not be granted the right to vote.
every day he's just like talking to another cardinal. What are you get?
Why are you gay? Lean man gone lean.
What are you running? So people I think invest a little bit too much in the Pope as of like John Paul II probably restored a little bit too much like celebrity to the Pope in recent times, but I mean, essentially he's just the Bishop of Rome.
Mhm.
I mean, he does have some final doctrinal says and stuff like that, but his sermons are just, his opinion in a lot of cases. Um, they don't actually like automatically become like liturgy or whatever. He doesn't dictate theology or anything like that. And I thought that they had gone to a system where they were hoping to have like terms because there was what happened to the Papa Emeritus. Um, because there was the one guy that like retired,
Was that
Benedict the
Benedict? Yeah.
16th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, he died. He
Oh, he
was
did.
95.
Ooh.
That was 2 years ago on the
Wow.
last day of the year on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Um, so, yeah, Benedict, he got retired and they got Francis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of thought that they were going for like, oh, we're gonna do like 8 year ish like papal,
Mm-hmm.
um residencies. But then who was the last guy? Francis. Yeah, I mean Francis. I just said it. Was he Francis the first?
I think he was
That's
Francis.
kind of interesting.
Hang on, was he Francis the first?
There's no extra Latin numerals behind his name.
Interesting.
Um, so he was 2013 to 2025. So that's 12 years, right? So they're like, I guess they're like, you know what? If you're Pope for life, you're Pope for life, unless you're going to step down for some reason. Then
What they need
we're going to
is a
deal with it.
young pope. A Lenny Belardo, perhaps would be a good choice.
I need to see that still.
It is. It is good. It is good.
Yeah, so I just
Conclave is
finished,
not,
and
by the way.
Conclave's not good.
No. But sorry,
Um,
continue.
I just finished the HBO Rome series, and you can see that they were going like setting up like foreshadowing like this like Jerusalem like is Judea like Jesus subplot that they would do like, oh, if they got a third season they'd time jump and it'd be the reign of Augustus and Jesus and all
Mm.
that stuff. Like I could tell they were setting it up, but then like they had to wrap up the series very tidily. uh oh, what was the point I was getting at on this? Oh, yes, it was that you know, there were these two the two Jewish guys in the story are like plotting this assassination. They're like, we must claim the kingdom of Zion, take it from King Herod. He's a slave to the Romans and everything like that. And I'm like, man, these scientists have been at it for a really long time.
Seriously,
Uh,
man.
and then I was like, people are like, wait, if the Holy Land doesn't belong to Israel or Palestine, who does it belong to? And the answer is obvious.
Rome.
Rome.
Rome, exactly. We need a pope who
King
will launch
Baldwin.
what crusade would this be on? Not that I necessarily support crusades on like a theological perspective or doctrinal perspective, but like what crusade would it be? Five? The fifth crusade? If they decided to retake the Holy Land?
They. I mean, it depends which ones you count as official versus non-official.
Anything approved by the
Um,
papacy, I guess. By the Vatican, excuse me. Um,
there was the Eighth Crusade.
eighth?
Um, yeah, and then there was Lord Edward's Crusade. I'm just reading Wikipedia trying to figure this
Okay.
out. And then the decline there, you know, the Crusader states, nominally Malta lasted until like the French, the Knights um, had Hospitaller got Rhodes, and then they went to Malta. So they lasted until like 1700 till France took them over, and then the British took that from them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else? I mean, the Teutonic Order. You could technically say that like the German,
Holy
um,
Roman Empire.
well, no, not the Holy Roman Empire. Specifically, the Kingdom of Prussia was a
Ah.
Crusader state,
Hmm.
um, and that lasted until the formation of the German Empire. Although nominally, the Kingdom of Prussia was still within the German Empire. Um, so you could say 1918 was the last Crusader state, maybe.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, just if you wanted to think about it. Although, like you could definitely say that like Spanish colonies in the New World were all declared to be like quasi crusades, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if they had papal sanction or whatever. Anyways,
Hmm.
yeah, kind of did like 1200s, 1500s
Yeah,
or so.
but I mean, it looks like we'd be on the 10th Crusade. So that would be if again I don't support the Crusades. But if they were to do that, it would be on the 10th Crusade, and that would return the Holy Land to its original owner, Rome. Yes, Palestine was a
Who
creation of Rome.
who is claimant to Kingdom of Jerusalem? I bet it's the King of Spain.
Maybe.
Just just wondering. Yeah, Felipe the Sixth.
Okay.
Yeah, because the House of Bourbon, the throne of Naples, claimed the title after. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Easy. Yeah. This
So
secession shit's easy, man. Like,
I had to look it up. Like,
yeah,
hold on a second.
whatever.
Um. Yeah. So, any other amazing news? Papa John. Oh, okay.
Papa John Pizza Ballo. Right, right, right. No, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, J.D. Vance did meet with the Pope right before he died, which is, you know.
No, this man's on a tear.
So,
Okay. So
okay, let's
first
think
he
about it.
dropped the trophy.
He drops the trophy. Then he becomes a viral meme, most of which I would say a good chunk of those Vance edits were made on 4chan, and then fucking 4chan died. And then he meets with the Pope, and then the Pope dies. His wife is Indian. India and Pakistan are about to go to nuclear war, maybe.
He was in India during
She
the
was
terror
in
attack.
India.
No,
She
not
was
she. JD
he
Vance was in India.
he
JD
was
Vance
in the
is the one.
trench.
He's orchestrating it all. He's,
Yes.
as I said, he's becoming Kali Yuga. He's there's not even a real JD Vance anymore. He's just Shiva come to wrought destruction upon the world. Um okay, yeah, I did find this article. Yeah, the Tuesday terrorist attack in India controlled Kashmir, which killed 26 tourists in the picturesque region. India has closed its border to Pakistan, declaring no visas will be given, but the Indian government has downgraded its diplomatic ties and suspended the water treaty, ordering, it's also ordered that visa holders in India have been ordered to leave within 48 hours. Water issue could impact hundreds of millions of people, and as it delineates how water is redistributed from 6 rivers that flow through both countries, starting in the Himalayas to the north. Technically, the headwaters of the Indus River are in China. So but it's really Tibet, but
Mm,
whatever.
mm.
The decision was made a meeting chaired by. Uh, Speaking of Tibet, the Dalai Lama politely refused to meet with JD
JD
Vance
Vance.
while he was there in India.
He's like, sir, JD Vance would like to. No, I want to live.
I
so,
want to live.
something interesting fact. So you mentioned that JD Vance is possibly Lord Shiva or the god Shiva. Lord Shiva in Hindu culture is often depicted with 5 different faces, and JD Vance has at least 5
Multiple
different.
faces.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's coming together, man.
It's all coming together.
Ah!
Um, so the foreign ministry um, had a press conference that said cross-border linkages of the terrorist attack have been brought out. Um, Authorities identified 25 victims are Indian and 1 Nepali. Pakistan firmly rejected it had anything to do with the massacre, saying that terrorism in India was homegrown. And this is the result of a Hindu nationalist government exploiting and killing religious minorities, including Christians and Buddhists. Um, so that's Pakistan's reply, is saying like, "Oh no, it wasn't."
No, you.
You know. Pakistan announced that it's closed its airspace to India, suspended all trade with the country, suspended immediate effect all of this visas issued to Indians under an exemption scheme, reduced to 30 the number of diplomats in the High Commission in Islamabad, and asked Indian defense, naval, and air advisors to leave Pakistan before April 30th. So we got 6 days. India's attempt to link the attacks to Pakistan are, quote, frivolous, devoid of rationality and defeat logic, said Islamabad, describing India's sweeping diplomatic measures as unilateral, unjust, politically motivated, extremely irresponsible, and devoid of legal merit. 2 nuclear-armed powers have fought no less than 3 wars over the status of the Kashmir region, given both sides claim it in its entirety going back to 1947. As for India's cancellation of the landmark water treaty, Pakistan on Thursday said his warning is that India is committing an act of war. So there's the word from Pakistan.
I hear in my head right now that video with the 2 Indian dudes like cursing each other out in traffic. You son of a bitch, bastard, bloody fuck you, no bloody fuck your mother, no bloody. This is what this is.
Your fuck, your fuck.
Fuck
and they're
you.
just slapping each other over
Yeah.
the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Indian government is Hindu nationalist enough to not even if it was like people in Pakistan are kind of delusional, calling it like a total false flag or something like that. Like this kind of thing doesn't happen kind of routinely. The fact that like there's a bunch of Hindus on pilgrimage like getting killed like really fires up the Hindu nationalists and stuff like that. This is also on the heels of. Did you catch JD Vance's joke while he was talking in Europe about the first Islamic State with nuclear weapons?
No, I missed the joke. Please tell
He
me.
said, "Oh, we got to worry. People are worried if Iran's going to be the first
Islamic State with nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapons, but I think it's going to be the UK."
Absolute mad lad.
And the thing is,
how was that received?
There are millions of Pakistanis and Indians in the UK right now. Both are holding substantial government positions.
Like the mayor, isn't the mayor of London still what's his face, Sadiq Khan or whatever it is?
Yeah. So he's Pakistani, but then the former prime minister was Indian, and then there you go to every town council and it's like half one or half the other, and they're like, oh, we're Bangladeshi nationalists, or we're Pakistani nationalists, or we're Indian nationalists, and stuff like that. You could see entire like cities like seceding over this and like trying to like take out other cities in England. Like it'd become a civil war inside another country just because they have so much of this. And like they don't even they don't even really hide their nationalism to the point that there was a bill introduced in Parliament to fund the building of an airport in Pakistan because so many of the constituents of a certain district in the UK were flying so frequently back and forth between the two. They wanted an extra airport, and the UK taxpayer was supposed to fund it.
Goodness. Oh my God. Could you imagine?
So, yeah, I'm just waiting with bated breath on this India Pakistan
Mm.
situation. Uh,
But you
any
know,
bold predictions for the next week as we go? Yeah,
nothing.
go ahead.
I was gonna say nothing ever happens. Like
Nothing
it's
ever happens.
nothing ever happens. Like on the safe side. In the meantime, though, I was trying to make some joke about how if nuclear bombs start going off, lots of kids will look at it and go, "Oh shit, it's like an Oblivion Gate," and that'll be like their last thought. But that's a little dark, so I won't do that.
Um, it'll be, in India would become Morrowind or something like that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
swampy.
Mm-hmm.
There's just monsters coming out of the
Bombed out
swamp,
and
and then
depleted.
honestly, I want to see a new version of Stalker,
Mm-hmm.
but it's set in like Fallout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Fallout
it's set.
Mumbai. Oh, that would be interesting.
um, yeah. Any bold predictions for next week? What will we be
Mm.
talking about?
Let's see. Well, I
Oh,
think.
actually, I'm gonna miss next week
Oh,
because I'm doing a thing.
okay,
So
fair enough. Well, that's okay. I'm sure that means some stuff will happen, and we'll have stuff to talk about the week after.
yeah, hopefully Matt can come on or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's kind of like a shooting star whenever he comes in. We're happy to see him, and he's usually not here for long, but he lights up our night. So,
We'll be able to reconvene
mhm.
just ahead of Mother's Day.
Yes,
So that'll be something.
that will be something. Oh God, that means I'm going to be busy at work. Oh.
Oh no.
So here's the thing: the most popular. We can close the show with this. The most popular item for Mother's Day, not in terms of like popular is like, oh, it looks nice, or popular is like, oh, this is a good investment. Popular is in like, oh, this is good for Mother's Day. I can buy this for my wife, who I've known for years. Is like a band or a necklace with like a bunch of gemstones in it that like symbolize all like the kids and maybe the dad's birthdays or birth months. So you have like amethyst for February and like ruby for July and like emerald for May, and they're putting it in these necklaces. And it's not a terrible idea, but the problem is that they usually come to us like the week before Mother's Day, and they're like, "Can you make this necklace from scratch from 14 karat gold and put this birthstone and this birthstone and this birthstone?" And I'm just like, dude, you really should have came to me like 3 weeks ago, like at a minimum, if you wanted this in time, because right now this is no, I can't do this for you for Mother's Day. I can start it and it'll be ready in like 3 weeks, but not Saturday, not Sunday. No, absolutely not. So you can get something else, maybe like a diamond band or something, or I don't know, maybe plan ahead more. And I sometimes we will get these guys who come into the store, and I'm sure there's something. There must have been something that initially drove their wives to go, oh, this is a nice guy. I think I'm attracted to him. I'll give him a chance. I'm sure there's something. But I have these guys come into my store and they're like, well, I'm looking for a present for my wife, and she's a nurse and she likes the color blue. What would you suggest? And I'm just like, well, a ring, but something low profile because she's going to be taking gloves on an awful lot. A necklace probably wouldn't work, especially if she's got a stethoscope because she's going to be taking that on an awful lot. And also if she's changing scrubs, there's a bracelet. 7 earrings, stud earrings. Oh, those can stay in. Yeah, that's perfect. And I'll suggest a couple of things, and I'm trying so hard to help this guy out. Get the gift for his wife. And I'm just like, so what is your wife like? Or well, I told you some things about my wife and I was hoping you could help me out. And I'm just like, you told me 2 things about your wife and you expect me to do some deep personal dive like I'm House or some shit. Like I'm going to pop some pills. Your wife's a bitch. What she actually wants is emeralds and diamonds because she's a bitch. Like, what do you want from me, bro?
Dolphins, like
She loves dolphins, you asswipe. Because dolphins are free and can do what they want, just like all the times she's thought about cheating on you because you're inattentive. Do better, sir. Get this necklace. That'll be $1,500, please. And that's like the week before Mother's Day and like the Monday and Tuesday afterwards, which are great too, because a lot of the times it'll be like the husband and wife coming into work afterwards. And like the wife's just walking around surveying things like a velociraptor, like watching like a herd of smaller animals. She's just like coming on down, and the husband's like right behind. And I'm just like, bro, this isn't gotta be like this, man. Like if you had tried at all, like I'm sure it didn't have to be jewelry. Like you could have got her some flowers and maybe something sentimental that reminded you of her and taken her out for dinner and spent time with her and tell her how much you appreciate her. That's really all you got to do. But like here you are walking the gray mile, as we like to call it, because our carpet's gray. You could have prevented this. So you don't look at me when I go $1,500. Don't give me that look like I'm supposed to help you out, man, because the fact that I'm here at all in the first place is helping you out. Now you got to help yourself.
One closing thought.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me as we were talking about the Bethesda games. Did you see what happened?
Not only have I seen it, I have it on the PS5, but I've been playing it the past couple of days.
Oh, okay. Is it worth it?
It's definitely, I only ever played a little bit of the first Oblivion. Like I never got that much into it. Just, I didn't have the opportunity. It was like at a friend's house and I'd occasionally get to play it. I like it. It's obviously like my main Bethesda game has been like Fallout 3 and New Vegas and Skyrim. But like it plays a lot like how Skyrim is, but like there's more, I don't know, like it just feels richer. Okay. And it's good. Like the gameplay is good. It's definitely the original Oblivion because you can still do all the fun things like when like the opening sewers, like I walked back and forth behind a rat while sneaking like a bunch of times and like raised my sneak up to level 15 before I even got out of the sewer. So that shit still works. But I've had one crash. I haven't had any wacky shit yet. I'm sure I'll get something. Oh no, I did. I got stuck a couple times and I had to reload. That shit happens. But like it's good. Yeah. Like is it really worth the full price? I mean, it's like $50 for base game, which like, isn't bad. But like when it goes on sale, which it will, like I would definitely pick it up. Like it looks nice. It plays well. It's fun going back to Cyrodiil and like closing the Oblivion gates. It's fun.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Also, another
maybe we can look forward to a Skyrim remastered in another year.
Maybe, yeah. Like it's been a while since we've had one of those. Like we haven't quite had one in the past couple of years. We need another one.
Yeah, it's due.
Mm-hmm. What I was also going to say is I also have been playing a little bit of a game called Tempest Rising, which is like an RTS game. It's basically very close to old school Command and Conquer. Like it's really got that feel right down to like the cheesy videos in between missions of like kind of shittily rendered individuals with bad voice track audio giving you objectives, but they're really putting their heart and soul into it. And it feels very comfy. Like it feels like a return to Command and Conquer form. It's a little light, like it's a little feature light, but I like it. And like if that also goes on sale, I think you specifically, Max, would enjoy that because you seem like you like the original Command and Conquer, I think, right?
I really got into Tiberium Wars.
There you go.
Fun.
Ooh.
Okay, here we have the battle raging on the
yes.
Indian border.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to go, then you go to hill and go down. Why you get
Okay,
fried,
yes,
man?
why? Are you crazy?
You're fucking
You
paranoid,
are
man.
fucking, you are fucking.
You fucking you bloody.
You bloody.
Fuck you bloody. Bastard bitch.
You
Fuck you,
bastard,
fuck
you.
you. Bloody fuck you bloody. Fucking mother bloody fuck bitch.
Bitch, you
Bloody
what
fuck
do?
you. Fucking bloody bastard. Benchwood bloody.
Branch of you.
You bloody.
Oh
No,
my.
but why is
Bloody no.
Why?
Bloody
That is
fucking.
if accident, then what you wanna
Why
do?
you fuck me? I fuck you bloody. Bloody bastard. Fucking running like lady, eh? Bloody. What the fuck, man? Fucking now shout at me, innit? Why are you shouting at me?
Because I am going to the work. If you don't do, you do to other places.
Why are you shouting?
Because of this, you are doing. I don't know. You are doing like this. I think you are going to accident.
No, shouting at me no good, man. Me no shout at you.
But the thing is that, what you think if you do like this one, you are going at work and somebody else
But
do
that
like
one,
this.
if you running like that one, you gonna fucking fall, innit?
But
Hurting yourself.
But yeah, because of this, I saved myself.
That one very icy road, man. Okay, have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Perfect.
Oh,
Wait till the end. Okay.
oh
Have a
yeah,
nice day.
that was. Bloody no!
You are fucking.
You are fucking. I fuck you. Bloody fuck you. Okay. Yes.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Oh man, anything else? Anything else you want to cover? I think we hit all the points and then some. And oh shit.
Good times.
Good
All right.
times.
Yeah, we'll see each other in a little
Yeah.
couple weeks, I guess.
Couple weeks, 2 weeks, I'm sure, maybe more. Who knows? Like, who knows if we'll still have internet after the two nations of India and Pakistan exchange nukes? And well, I'd like one more summer before we get nuclear winter or Fimble winter, depending on what it
Yeah,
becomes.
we need one more summer.
One more, yeah, white boy summer, and then go ahead,
Yep.
ladies.
Chet Hanks has got big things planned for us.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us for another lovely episode. We hope you'll take our ideas for that work release program that we came up with forward and pitch that to your friends and family, because I actually think there's real tread there. Like, I'm not actually suggesting it because, of course, no, forcing people to labor, blah, 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 doesn't vibe with Ancapistan. However, it's just an idea. That's all. It's just an idea.
We're just spitballing. We're just talking about
We're
it.
just brainstorming. You know how it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you stay safe. We hope you stay well. We hope you do not perish in nuclear hellfire. And above all else, we hope that you always remember taxation is theft.